So hi guys, today we're going to look at 11 players that you should be signing in FM19. These players, they should be cheap, they should turn out quality, and they should all be under the age of 23. So make sure you check these out. I'm going to do one by one, and I'm going to look at what they currently look like in FM18, because obviously 19 is not out yet, unless they release the beta earlier, but we will see. So as always, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications every time we have a new video out, and don't forget to hit that big like button as well if you like the video. So the first player we're going to look at is Pedro Rajkovic. He is a Serbian goalkeeper and he plays currently for Maccabi Tel Aviv. He's currently valued at 1.2 million, so all these players that I'm going to mention you should be able to sign for under 10 to 15 million, which isn't super cheap, but they're still bargains for the players that they turn out to be, and some of these players you should be able to get relatively cheap as well, maybe even some under $1 million. But we're starting off with Pedro Rajkovic. As you can see from his stats, 21 years old, he's got some fantastic stats here already. And the way that we're going to work it is we're basically going to show you what they look like at the start of FM18 and what they develop into after around 6-7 years in FM18. So you can see how they potentially turn out as well. But as you can see, some fantastic stats here. 16 for command, 14 for aerial, 14 for handy, 14 for one-on-ones, 15 for reflexes, and 14 for jumping reach as well. So he's got some very good stats, can turn out very well. Let's have a quick look to see his career. Obviously, he's been in Serbia for most of his career, joined Maccabi Tel Aviv in 2015. As you can see, he's a fairly determined personality with 15 for determination as well, which is something I always look at when looking to develop young players. So let's go and see how he turns out. So as you can see, 9 years later, so I did say 6 to 7, but it's 9 years later, and as you can see, he has developed further. He's got 16 aerial reach, 15 handling, 16 one-on-ones, 16 reflexes, jumping reach gone up to 15, and his command of area has gone up to 17 as well, which is his best attribute. So he can be a bit of a leader. Obviously looking at leadership, 16, and we'll have a quick look at his history to see how he's performed. So in the game, Chelsea signed him, and as you can see, he didn't play too many games. He was obviously their sub goalkeeper, but he didn't concede that many either. 4 and 5, 5 and 4, 4 and 3, 5 and 6, 2 and 4, 9 and 1, and then he joined Besiktas for 7 million, conceded 22 in 27 games, and then he went to Aston Villa and he's conceded 28 in 26. So overall, this player, if you consider how much he's valued at and the stats that he has, he could be a pretty tidy goalkeeper for you. So the next player I'm looking at is Hans Heitboer. He plays for Atalanta in Italy, and he's a Dutch right back. Now you're probably getting the pattern here. We're basically going to build a 11 using a standard 4-4-2 formation. So we're going to do a player that I've picked from each position. This one is slightly a bit older as well. He is dead on 23. But as you can see, he has got very good stats here. 15, 15 for pretty much, so 14 to 16 there is average attributes. He's an attacking fullback. He's a model professional. Determination is 16, so again he can develop, and he's only valued at 3.5 million with a 9,500 a week wage. So how does he develop? Well, you can see that his stats have slightly gone up. They've not improved dramatically, but his tackling's gone up to 16. And yeah, he just develops into a steady right back, and you could probably get him from a decent price. He's currently valued at 23 million for a 32-year-old. It's pretty good. And if you look at his history, he moved to Chelsea for 21 million, but potentially you could buy him in the first season that you do, and and get him a lot cheaper than that. But if you look at his performance, his average rating is roughly about 7.25 on average. If you look at it, 7.31. Okay, I was close. But if you look at it, 10 goals, 37 assists, 14 man of the match awards. So he is a player that can develop very well. So next area of the pitch we're looking at are the centre backs, and I've got some really good players that really should be cheap for you. Nikola Katic from Rangers. As you can see, he's 20 years old. He's already got some fantastic stats. 16 for tackling, 15 for 15 for passing, 15 for marking, 15 for heading, 17 jump and reach. Mentally could be better, but let's see if that develops. He's a professional personality. His determination is 13. So not as high as some of the others, but let's see how he develops. Yeah, so you see that he develops very, very well. This is possibly a player that I'm gonna purchase in my Panathinaikos save. Tackling 17, marking, passing, heading, all up to 16 as well. Stamina, strength, jump and reach just stayed the same, but stamina is 17, strength 18. Determination's gone up as well. He's now a model professional, so he's obviously been tutored somewhere, but his stats have improved. Mentally, he is much, much better. Remember, he was quite weak there, but positioning 15, work rate 14, concentration 15, anticipation 14, and he's currently playing at Barcelona. He's valued at 52 million. He's now 29, from Bosnia, and if we look at his history as well, he left Rangers to go to AC Milan. 43 million they spent on him, and then he joined Barcelona for 46 million a few years later. So if you look at these average ratings as well, 7.26, 22 goals, 30 assists, and 11 man of the match awards. Most of them, half them goals were when he was at Rangers. He scored 9 in 25 games for Rangers. For a centre defender, it's fantastic work. So let's see who is going to be partnering in defence. So I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but Srđan Babić, Serbian again, 21 years old. He's contracted to Red Star, and he's only valued at 275,000 as well. So if you look at his stats at the moment, they are pretty good, but they're not fantastic. They're probably like a Championship League One player right there. 14 for tackling, 15 determination, 14 composure, jump and reach 14 as well. Some steady stats, but nothing that stands out. There's something that's different as well. You don't get too many left-footed central defenders, but let's see how he develops. So as you can see, doesn't develop too much, but he still develops into a very good defender. You got 15s, 14s, 16s are his average ratings there. Pretty good. He's currently valued at 31 million though. He plays at Quanzhou in China, 100k a week. And if you look at his history as well, he left Espanyol, who he was originally at. He was only worth 275,000. He went for 1 million, so again there you could potentially get him up very cheap. His average ratings for the first few years weren't that great, but he's slowly got better and better. He was signed at Hoffenheim for 2 million a few years later. AC Milan bought him for 14.5, and he then went to the Superliga in China for 38 million. But initially, this is a player that you should be able to get cheap, should be able to do a job. Like you can see here, he played in the top division in Spain and Germany, and Italy as well. So definitely one to look out for. And to finish off the defence, we've got Patrick Kamogawa. He's a right back, can play defensive mid or centre mid as well, from Freiburg. He's valued at 2.1 million. He's only on 4.5 grand a week. 20 years old, from Germany. As you can see, his positions that he can play are here. Very good in all four positions. He's natural in all of them, so he's very versatile. And he's got some pretty good stats here. 17 for natural fitness stands out. Bravery 16, aggression 15, work rate 15, determination 14. These are the two that you want to look for. Work rate, determination. This will determine whether a player normally can become fantastic or not. And then obviously he's defender, so his tackling needs to be pretty good. He's got 14 for tackling, 14 for marking. Could improve his pace and his crossing, but let's see if that develops. So as you can see, his marking has dramatically improved. He's sitting on 17 for marking. Defence has gone up to 15. The rest hasn't really improved too much. Natural fitness has gone up as well. And overall, he's a very steady player. You can tell that he develops into a good player by his value. He's at 59 million currently for Atletico Madrid. He's on 165 a week. And he's also developed into a left back as well. So he's extended his versatility. And then looking at his history as well, obviously he was at Freiburg. He was there for a few years. Only joined Atletico Madrid for 10.5 million. And although these average ratings aren't fantastic, they do get better as he gets older. And he's got a pretty steady run, 25 assists, 11 goals. 6.99, still not a bad average rating. So he's definitely, like I said, one that can turn out to be a pretty decent signing. So the next two players I'm going to look at are two players that you will be familiar with from my On The Ball City save. And the first one is going to be Roa Slow. So these positions are for centre midfield. As you can see, it's not his natural position, but he can play there. So can the next player as well. But these are just two players that I couldn't miss. They are fantastic. They are cheap. And like I say, we'll have a quick look at him. He's currently playing for Freiburg, 1.3 million, 20 years old, from Hungary. Already got decent stats. 14 first touch, long shots, passing, technique, determination, aggression, vision, flair at 15 as well. But looking how he develops, he does increase his stats slightly. To be fair, I think on my Norwich save he had better stats. But as you can see, these go up to 15. 15 for long shots, 15 for first touch, 15 for dribbling. He is a very good player. Obviously, he's naturally an attacking midfielder centre, but he can play in centre midfield. He can. I know it from using him in that position. But if you look at his history, what he's done, see here, he's not really done much in his first few seasons. He's gone to Freiburg 2. He went on loan in Cyprus, came back to Freiburg, was sold to Turkey for 1.5 million, and after a year there he went to Galatasaray for 11 million, then Napoli for 8 million before another big move to China. They like splashing out on these players and splashing out big as well, but he has done reasonably well for a midfielder. 86 goals in 316 games, 46 assists, average rating of 7.12, and look at his last few seasons. 12 in 30, 9 in 28, 14 in 26 for Galatasaray there, 10 in 33 for Napoli, 10 in 38, 7 in 34, 8 in 15, and then since he's had his second season in Shenhua, he's got 3 in 6, so he's performing very well. He's a very good player, and partner him in the centre of midfield is Yusuf Suzuki. Again, I've signed him on my Norwich save, and as you can see, he's got very good stats. Physically, he could do better. But the one that stands out is flair. He's got 17 for flair, 16 for vision, 15 for teamwork, technique, crossing, corners, 16 for composure as well, and then he's got a few on 14 and 13. Very, very good player. He's currently valued at 2.7 million. He's on a cheap wage as well, 1.2 thousand. And as you remember, he can perform in some big games. He does score some good goals. He's a very good passer of the ball, and for some reason, he's not in the game in the 8-9 years that I've simmed the game. So for some reason, he's retired at some point. So Yaziki is not there, but take my word for it, he does develop into a very good player. I'm sure you could get him very cheap as well. And the next player we're looking at is Ezequiel Barco from Atlanta United in the USA. He's Argentinian. He's only 18 years old. He's currently valued at 4.2 million. And this is a player that you could really develop very well. He can play in multiple positions: centre mid, attacking mid, right or left. And as you can see, he already has decent stats in determination 18, flair 16, bravery 16, stamina 16, penalty taking 16, and then he's got some 14, 15, 13s there. Very good play. He's driven, and as you can see from his determination and his work rate, he is a player that should develop very nicely. So I can't remember if I said it or not, but it was originally valued at 4.2 million. As you can see now, after a few years, he is valued at 61 million. Currently plying his trade at Aston Villa on 210,000 a week. And as you can see, his stats have improved even more. Determination, flair, passing has gone up to 16, crossing 15, free kicks 15. Very, very good player. An elite attacking midfielder is his media description. And as you can see from his moves there, he's joined after a few years Inter Milan for 24 million. So you should be able to pick him up for a lot less there. And then he's joined Aston Villa for 50 million in 2025. Not a bad record as well. 33 goals, 37 assists in the 241 games. And this is a player that I'm very, very excited about. I believe he's done pretty well. Obviously, the history doesn't show cups and other performances. It just shows league performance. Currently this season, he's played 50 games, 9 goals, 13 assists. I'm sure that you guys could probably develop this man even better than what he is on the game, especially with the new training in FM19. I'm sure you could really develop this player into a very attacking threat. So to complement him on the left hand side, we've got Gil Diaz from Monaco. He's rated at 4.1 million. Again, cheap wage, and his contract ran out as well, so you might be able to pick him up on a free. He's from Portugal, 20 years old, and as you see, he's got some steady, decent stats. Dribbling, balance, agility, acceleration are the main ones. Passing's good, technique's good as well, good vision, good off the ball, which makes him perfect on the wing. He's left-footed, professional, and he's a player he's already moved around quite a bit. He was in Portugal for most of his career. He did spend some time at Monaco. Obviously, he is at Monaco, but he's currently been on loan for the last few years, which is probably even more reason why you might be able to pick him up, because he's not played any first-team football for Monaco for the last few years. So to them, is he good enough? Is he going to break into the team? You could put in a decent offer and get him. And as you can see from the way he develops, physically he is fantastic. His technical stats don't really improve too much. But if you look at his vision, 18, off the ball 17, composure 17. Very, very good player. Currently at Liverpool, valued at 53 million. He's got a wage of 150,000. And if you look at his performance, he's gone back to Monaco. He's played a few games, but he was sold on to Bayer Leverkusen for 15 million. So after a couple of years, if they sold him for 15 million, you should be able to get him for around 5, I reckon. 5-6 million, you should be able to get him. And obviously, going forward, you've seen he's gone to Barcelona. Not worked out too well for him at Barcelona, and then he's gone to Liverpool, where he's doing superb. 13 goals in 34 games. He's got an average rating of 7.28. 71 goals in 313 games, 48 assists, and a total transfer fee of 92.75 million. So he's definitely a player to look out for. And the next person that you really need to be on the radar with, obviously his value is going to be a lot more. He's probably going to be the most expensive player on this list. But his name is Toro Martin. He plays for Inter Milan. He's a striker. He's one of 2 strikers I've got for you today. 19 years old, from Argentina. Like I say, he's valued at 5.5 million. He's on 12,000. But as you can see, his physical stats are fantastic. They're all 15. All of them. His media description is a wonder kid. His personality is a perfectionist. And as you can see from his determination 20, this is a player that is really, really going to develop. And you need to look out for him on the next game. Anticipation and finishing, technique, they're all at 15 off the ball. He's got some fantastic stats. The question is, how good does he turn out? And as you can see, his physical stats have gone up. Apart from jump and reach, surprisingly that's gone down. His determination has gone down as well as he's got older. He's got a bit lazier. But his mental stats have gone up as well. his technical stats haven't really changed. I think his long shots and his heading have got better, but it looks like he's focused on other areas and he's not really focused on that. So I think if you really put him on a decent training regime, he can turn out even better than he is right now. And right now, he currently plays for Bayern Munich. He's valued at 71 million and he's getting paid 300 grand a week. For Argentina, he scored 35 goals in 59 games. And looking at his history, he left Inter Milan on loan for 1.5 million. The next year, he joined Dortmund for 67 million. He done superb there, 18 and 24, 23 and 32, 25 and 32, 24 and 33, 17 and 18, and that earned him an £83 million move to Bayern Munich, where again he's dominated there as well, 25 and 33, 20 and 26. He's enjoyed Germany. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the Premiership or another division, but this is a player that develops very, very well. So the person partnering Martinez up front is Andrea Pinamoto from Frosinone. He's a striker. He's on loan from Inter Milan as well. So they're both technically Inter Milan players. I've known him from a couple of saves that I've done in Italy in the past when he was younger, so a couple of years ago. He does turn out to be a very good player. Obviously, his current ability of finishing and pace at 15 are the two that really stand out. The rest of his stats are average if you look at it, but his stats improve massively. His physicals are fantastic, especially his pace. That goes up to 17. His finishing has gone up to 17 as well. Technique 15, off the ball 14. Generally, he's just improved massively, and he's currently worth 68 million. He plays for Man City. He's on a massive wage, and as you can see from here, he's stayed at Inter Milan, but he's just gone on a few loan moves for, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons. He played 1 season at Inter, and then that's where he earned his 58 million move to Man City. So, I mean, he's gone on loan for a season for 1.9 million. So if you're pushing up to maybe 8 million, you should be able to get him. So again, it's under 10 million pounds. His first couple of seasons, he scored 23 goals in 51 games in the league. Done very well. That season, he done well. The other seasons, to be fair, at Man City, he's not dominated the league. Put it that way. He's not scored a great amount of goals, but again, if you look at his stats, 17 for finishing, 17 for pace, his composure's there, his off the ball's there, his vision's there, his work rate's pretty good. The only thing I'd say is his positioning he needs to work on. Maybe he's getting in the wrong positions, but again, that's an area that you could work on in the training in FM19 and really develop him into a quality player. He's not been as prolific for Man City as he has for the other teams, but like I said, it all comes down to the training, and that wraps up our 11 players that you should sign in FM19 under the age of 23. Or, well, there was one at 23, but under the age of 23, you should be able to get all of these at a bargain price. At least, at maximum, you should be able to get 10-15 million. And considering the amount transfers are going recently, I'd class that as a bargain, especially as they're young and they will develop in 6, 7, or they'll be at their peak at 6 or 7 years. So make sure you check these players out when the new game comes out. If you've liked the video, please drop a like, and if you want to drop a sub to the channel as well, that would be fantastic. And please stay tuned to the channel. I have got some other videos on the saves that I'm going to be doing in FM19 this year on YouTube, Twitch, and I've got one more video. If you haven't ordered FM19 yet, make sure you check them videos out. Find out the questions on the video. Leave the answers in the comments box, because you could have a chance to win a copy of the game. And stay tuned to the channel, because I will have another video like this coming out for 11 players to sign under the age of 18. So make sure you check that out. That should be out soon. Hopefully I can get it out before the release of the game, depending when they decide to bring it out. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.